looked up this mat yet. I need to look up this mat to see if it's okay to put a sterno stove on, because I got some survival supplies coming to me from David Lynn. And I need to learn how to use those stoves. I need to learn how to use the stoves inside and safely. I haven't read this yet. I have a little diverse library. Several years ago, there was a group of moms that banded together that banned some books in our county. In other words, they are practicing censorship here. And the little diverse library I have out there. Good morning, Giggles. It's so good to see you, TJ. So the books that I have in the Little Diverse Library are books for minority children and for LGBTQ children and their families and everyone that is not LGBTQ or a minority, to learn about people of different cultures. That's kind of the whole point, is so we can live together. Good morning, Dan. Dan is in Wales, I believe. And because if we're going to get along together, we need to know about each other. And censoring out different cultures from, let's call them, say, mainstream children. I don't know how to be politically correct about all this, because to me, isolating groups does not lead to peace. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about a lot of things, but that's my opinion. You want me to read a children's story? Giggles. Okay, let's do it. This book is not. This is like middle elementary, so I don't know about this book. There's like a paragraph on each page. This will take some time, Giggles. Are you sure? Okay. Harvey the Foolish Pig by Dick Grackenbach. And I've never read this book. I don't have any idea about how foolish this pig is, or how where this story will take us. So, I do not own the rights to this story. This is for entertainment purposes only and educational purposes. I can say that. Soon after Harvey began his journey, he met a hungry wolf. "Where are you going?" the wolf asked the pig. See, and this is the part of the story where Harvey should have said, "None of your business." Okay, and just left. "To find the wise king of animals," replied Harvey. "I have a question to ask him." Oh, divulging more information to the wolf. Not good. "Well," said the wolf, "when you find him, ask him a question for me too. Tell the king you met a hungry wolf who doesn't have a thing to eat. Ask him if he knows where I can get a good meal." Harvey nodded. "I will," he promised, and he went on his way. Oh, that's unrealistic. So a lot of hungry wolves out there wondering where they're going to get their next meal. Good morning, everyone. Let me see. I have this phone sideways, so it's hard to read. Exactly, Brian. I don't think a pig can kill a wolf unless. So Harvey's come to see the king because he can't afford shoes. "Then, sir," pleaded Harvey, "may I have some riches too?" I will give you the gift of good luck, replied the king. You deserve them. You may have all the riches you will ever need, but he warned you must find them first. Where will I look for them? Asked Harvey. Keep your eyes and ears open and use your head, said the king. They will show you the way. Now off with you. Basically told him to go solve his own problems. So here's on this side panel is usually just the words, and we have the king scratching his head. And Harvey's like, before Harvey departed to find his riches, he remembered his promise and asked the king the questions for the hungry wolf, the beautiful Luella, and the dry tree. The king listened patiently while scratching his mane, then gave Harvey wise answers to take back with him. Harvey thanked the king and hurried off to search for his riches. What a cliffhanger. We're not going to get the answers to the questions yet. So here we go. The thirsty tree was happy to see the pig return. They answered the king, what answer did the king send me? The tree asked Harvey. He told me to tell there was a pot of gold buried beneath your roots, explained Harvey. Until it is removed, no water will ever reach your leaves, and you will not bear fruit again. The tree's limbs began to shake. What are you waiting for? He shouted. Remove the gold, you foolish pig. No, no, Harvey. I have no time. I must go and find my riches. And off he ran. So the poor tree, he has to solve his own problem too. Luella was eagerly waiting Harvey's return, too. Does the king have an answer for me? He asked. Yes, replied Harvey. He told me to tell you that you are unhappy because you are lonely. He said you must find someone to share your life with you, and only then will you be happy. Marry me then, Luella pleaded, and they will both be happy. We will both be happy. I'm sorry, I can't right now, said Harvey. As he ran away, I must find my riches. Oh, you foolish pig, said Luella sadly. That was a win-win situation he walked away from. Okay, so here we have, further down the road, Harvey met with the hungry wolf again. What does the king have to say to me? Asked the wolf. Did he send me a good meal? Oh dear, he did send him a good meal. Oh, so much has happened, said Harvey, sitting to catch his breath. On my way to see the king, I met Luella Pig, who was unhappy despite her wealth and beauty. Then I met a thirsty tree who wanted to know how to get some water. Well, continued Harvey, the king told me to tell the tree to remove a pot of gold from beneath its roots. He told me to tell Luella to get herself a husband. Then and only then would Luella be happy, and the tree would get water. Woo. And did you tell them? Asked the wolf. I did indeed, replied Harvey, and Luella wanted me to marry her, and the tree wanted me to remove the gold. What did you do? Asked the wolf. I refused, of course, said Harvey. The king gave me the gift of good luck, and now I am in a hurry to find my riches. Well, before you go, said the wolf, what did the king have you say? Foolish pig. Sorry about the interruption. Oh, yes, said Harvey. I almost forgot. The king told me to and no shoes who doesn't know his good luck when he sees it. The wolf said eagerly. Then what does the king say I should do? Eat him. Oh, Harvey's finally realizing what he's done. So he runs, finally. And here we have two birds at the end going tisk tisk, foolish pig, the end. So Harvey didn't know good luck when he saw it. When he met Luella, the rich, lonely pigless female pig, he didn't know what to do. When he met a tree that had a pot of gold underneath him, he didn't know what to do. He didn't have time. And he went on his merry way. So he didn't take his opportunities. I don't know if school systems like Harvey the Foolish Pig, because in the end, well, Harvey is eaten. So I don't know what the rules are anymore, whether that would be an appropriate. Good morning, Tooch Man. I really enjoyed that auction last night. And good morning, Kat and Jack. I hope you're still here. My stream was interrupted. TJ from Giggles FPP wanted me to read this story because I had this book on my table that I had ordered and received. I think I got this from Dawn Southern Finds. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. I've done so many unboxings yesterday, I'm just not sure. So I'm trying to get all my unboxings done before I go get more boxes. And sometimes that can be daunting. But Tooch Man had a wonderful auction last night called the Tooch of Glass. And I had to go an hour late because I had a meeting, but I picked up a few things. I feel shameless about it. I shouldn't be picking up more glass, but I did. So, I guess I'll just have to unbox them and show everyone my beautiful glass that I got from Tooch Man and from, I think I bought a piece from Stephanie. I had bought a piece from Stephanie the last auction I went to, and I definitely bought from Angela Isaac Vintage and Resale. Thank you so much, Tim. I really appreciate you being here. Tim is my managing mod. Tim is a wonderful friend to have. He comments on every video I put out. I feel so blessed to have Tim as my friend. I just, those days that it's hard to do everything, because I do the lives in the morning now, and I do the unboxings and the Bible readings, and then, every morning, during the winter, my pain levels increased and my sleeping hours have changed, and I'm sleeping late. I'm sleeping till like 6 or 6:30 every morning, and it used to be I would get up between 3 and 5 in the morning. That's what I do in the summer months, but this winter I have slept longer hours and I've gone to bed later for some reason. I don't know what has happened, but it's a change of seasons. And so that morning time between 3 and 5, I would watch the channels of the people that watched me, and I've lost that time, and I don't know how quite to make up for it. But everybody gets the same hours in the day, and we all get 24. So how to manage it is up to each one of us. But it's kind of thrown me for the loop. The extra pain, the sickness, and not having that early morning time to do watch videos has really thrown my channel for a loop. And but now that I'm doing lives, maybe that dynamic, it needed to change anyway. I don't know. I need to talk to somebody about that, because how do you do everything? Good morning, Craig. And you're asleep. Poke him. Somebody poke him. Wake him up. I need to get Mrs. Craig's telephone number. It's like, make that man some coffee. I know you can cook. His wife has a wonderful cooking channel. Craig, why don't you put your wife's channel's name in the chat? Because I keep forgetting it. And she is a wonderful cook. I watched 3 or 4 of her cooking videos. And one of the things she did was this layered dip. It's like refried beans and sour cream and salsa, that kind of thing. And, Taco Tuesday kind of dip. Well, he's not even going to wake up to help his wife out. She has a channel too. Come on, Craig. Good morning, Savory Simplicity. Here it is. You've been looking for me? That's great. Oh, that's Craig's wife's channel. Oh, that's funny. Oh, a prayer request video? Yeah, I go to devotionals. Like I've posted on my community page about Michelle Crafts, crocheting and crafts. Used to be Michelle Crochets in Kansas. She does a daily devotional and she does prayer every day and she has a prayer list. Okay, I'll watch that. Is it linked to your channel as well? Is that on your channel or is that on someone else's channel? I will pray for you, Tim. Even, just a general prayer until I watch the video. Not on camera, though. I don't pray on camera. But I was thinking about, we're going into the Lenten season and uh, we all go into Lent, and some people just think about what the sacrifice of Jesus Christ meant, and some people, have things that they sacrifice during this season for Lent. But also, I was thinking about Christmas and Easter, those holidays, we build up to them, worshiping God, and then when they're over, those are the seasons. The season we're in now, between Christmas or Epiphany, really, and before Lent starts, we're in an ordinary season. Bill Cameron channel, okay. Okay. I went to that once. Yeah, I remember. And then I had forgotten the gentleman's name. But I'll uh, try to get back to this chat. Could you post that link on one of my regular videos? Oh, thank you for posting Mrs. Craig's channel. But after Christmas and Easter, that's when, it's time for Christians to start sharing the joy of Christmas and the joy of resurrection. And that's the times that we need to tell other people about God. It's not, Christmas and Easter gives us an opportunity or an opening, but we need to learn how to share the love of God the rest of the year and be in tune with the love of God. It seems like people forget about God if it's not Easter and Christmas, and they only go to church on Easter and Christmas. And then the rest of the time, they just do everything that everybody else does. And that just, the older I get, the more wrong that seems to me, that we need to be, uh, you know, um, as good as we can be, all year long. Oh, thank you for posting that. Good morning, Bob. How you doing? Are you going out on the ice again today? Bob and his friend Skeeter were out on the ice yesterday, boring, I don't know, 4 or 5 inch holes into the ice and fishing. And Skeeter was on his channel and Bob was on his channel. And I was having a lot of fun hopping back and forth between Bob's channel and Skeeter's channel to watch them both fish. Not sure which lake yet. Bob lives in Pennsylvania. Were one of the lakes dammed up by a beaver? Was it a beaver lake or was it another kind of lake? I so wanted to tell my story. The meeting I was in, that um, they were talking about a lake. They were talking about a dam, and I just so wanted to tell my story about Summersville Dam. And I know that Bob has heard it before, but I think I'm going to go ahead and tell it again. Yeah, Tooch Man is a wonderful channel. Thank you so much, Tim. Um, anyway, the Army Corps of Engineers names every dam after the town that got covered up by the water. Because a lot of times, these man-made dams, they cover up places where people live, and they have to, move them away. Hopefully they got a decent amount of money for their lifetime and their parents' lifetime. I mean, this Summersville Dam is in West Virginia, and a lot of people up there live on airship property. Like my family moved into an area that is now Boone County, West Virginia, in 1820, and until I left in the 1980s, everyone from my grandparents down had already left. But a lot of families around us, they would be living on the property of their great grandfather, and I actually have some airship property left up there. So when you have to move away from your land in West Virginia, especially if these people have been local, usually they've been local for 100 to 150 years. It's not just that they moved in, their grandpa moved in or their parents. It's, was generations and generations of people. So anyway, the town that they covered up was Gad, and they weren't going to name the dam Gad Dam. So they named it Summersville, which was the town next to it. So that's how Summersville Dam got its name. And I went there. Okay. Thank you so much, Tim. I really appreciate you coming by and throwing everybody's links. I really appreciate that. And I'll get and see where you are on that other channel. I'll see what your prayers concerns are and what is going on with your life. I appreciate you. But I always thought that was funny in that meeting last night to tell that joke. But I was on chat only. A lot of other people were on video, and I would have had to have gone to video to tell that joke. And I've been on chat for a very long time with that group, and they would probably think it was very odd that I went off chat and went on audio to tell that joke when the topic was usually much more serious. So I'll say that. So I didn't break my wall and go to audio out of chat to tell that joke. But oh my goodness, I can't wait until this winter is over. I know you're not supposed to wish away time, but when I woke up this morning, it was at 6:30, and I was so out of it, and I had crusties in my eyes at 6:30, and usually, by 5 o'clock I've had breakfast, and by the time that people are having their breakfast at 8, 9 o'clock, I'm ready for second breakfast. I'm a little hobbit. I like to eat two breakfasts. I break it up instead of having everything at once. But I love Hobbits. I love Lord of the Rings. I always have. But I didn't have any idea what direction this live was going to go today. I do have some things I need to do in the community today, and it'll be the first time that I've left the house this week. I didn't, the two additional unexpected federal holidays we've had this week, like day before yesterday, because of the snow. Everything was shut down. They didn't even pick up my trash that day because they were expecting snow here. We never got any. We got freezing rain and we got fog, but we never got any snow. And so today I'm going to leave my little hubble and go out in the community and hunt and gather and send out. So that's going to happen today. I'm just really not looking forward to going out into a cold car. I did that one day last week. It was cold, and I just I did not like it at all. I have a heater that has a short in it that I have to kick underneath the what is it? The glove compartment. I have to kick under the glove compartment with a cane. It was so funny. My battery went dead about 3 weeks ago, and my brother came over, and he he jump started my car. His Mercedes was connected to my old car. It was so funny. But anyway, after the car started, the heater wasn't working. So he was standing there, and I was taking the cane, and I was hidden underneath the glove compartment. And I rolled down the window, heater started, and rolled down the window. And I'm like, you need to move so I can get out. And he said, oh, I thought you wanted something because you were jumping up and down. I'm like, no, I was just taking the cane and hitting under the glove box so the heater would turn on. He looked so dumbfounded. It was so funny. But anyway, I got on my merry way that day. But, I have an old car. It has a quirky personality. So going out into a cold car when you may or may not have heat is a different prospect than going out in an old car. So, but my car still looks good. It's a Chevy Cobalt, and it's from 2010. But it gets me there. The last car I had was a Volkswagen Fox, and I think I put 200,000 miles on it, or close to 200,000 miles. When I first got it, I lived in another state that was very mountainous. It could be. Sometimes the radio doesn't work either. But the windshield wipers haven't quit on me. And sometimes the windows don't want to go down. So I'm afraid it's an electrical problem, which, those are so tricky. And, you go in and people act dumb and they charge you, $200, and they act dumb again and they charge you another 200 or 1,000 anymore. I don't even know. So anyway, when I had the Fox, my boyfriend called it a rabbit because it was the first time I had driven motorcycles a lot when I was younger. And I had no problem with a clutch, but it had been, I don't know if I had ever driven a stick shift at that point. And I was in a mountainous area. And so my boyfriend called my Fox a rabbit because I was making it hob. And but it just took me, I don't know, less than a week to adapt to it. And I had fun driving it in the mountains. It was so much fun having that clutch and having to shift in those curves and going fast. And, I really got into it. And then I moved to Florida, and it was flat. And, I liked it being flat. I mean, it was a lot safer. But with the clutch, when you come to Florida and there's heavy traffic and it's flat, you just end up sitting there having to push down that clutch, and or I did. I mean, you can't take it out of gear, so you sit there with clutch down. And if you're in stop and go traffic, that can be tedious. So I didn't like the clutch for Florida, but I did like it in the mountains. Well, you have a good day. I'll probably see you later, Bob. Bob goes live almost every day. Sometimes he goes live just for his members, and I really like those times because he has a good, solid group of people, and we're quite the community over there. I really enjoy being part of that group when Bob is live, and when the other fishermen are live too. It started out that I wanted to see the water. One of the first places I really started enjoying Bob's lives, he was at a waterfall. And I really love that waterfall, and I really love seeing the water every day. And now it's ice. And I'm surprised that once the water went away, it became ice. I was still watching. And then I remembered that I have this habit. I used to do this on Netflix when I was at my old place. I would lay in bed and put up my laptop on. I had a laptop then on Netflix, and I would watch disaster movies. And I love watching all those ice disaster movies. And so I haven't been watching those since I moved here. Good morning, Jennifer. I don't see Jennifer in the chat. Are you talking about your wife, Jennifer? All right. Good morning, Jennifer. From Savory Simplicity. Yes, she has some good recipes. That threw me for a loop because I thought you were talking about Jennifer Hayes for a moment, but I had forgotten your wife's name was Jennifer. But she has a lovely channel. I need to cook some of those recipes. Actually, I need to cook anything, but but I love watching people on the ice now and YouTube. I guess it's kind of my brain's translated what I used to watch, the 100 degrees below zero or the, apocalyptic snowstorm, on movies. Now I like watching people ice fishing for a moment. And I used to watch that truck show um, where they would take these big semis out on the ice. I didn't watch that a long time. I just watched a couple episodes of that. And after a couple episodes, you kind of get the gist. But I thought that was interesting that people would try that. But, you know, Bob and Skeeter are fishing in Pennsylvania, and we got people in that group that are in Canada and Alaska, so um, they live in areas where the ice would be thick enough to drive on a river or a lake. I mean, that's just, you know, I don't know how their cars would start because everything would be freezing up. But anyway, we are having, winter. Yeah, I thought. Oh, okay. Now, if Jennifer is saying hello, why haven't I seen Jennifer in the chat? Okay, let me see. I'm going back up. I'm not seeing Jennifer in the chat. Oh, good morning, Wanderer. Good to have you here. You came in when I was reading that story about Harvey the foolish pig. Well, good morning to Sabrina, too. Yes, Ice Road Truckers. Yeah, I watched that, a couple episodes of that. But the cold is getting to me now, and my shoulders are just rocks. I don't know why this happens to me in the morning. When I sit up, I get my muscles below my neck just become, they're just solid rocks. I mean, like, oh, I can't put my fingers tight enough to explain how hard my shoulder muscles get in the morning. And then later in the day, when I'm not paying attention, it goes away. But every morning, my shoulders get that way. And it's just so weird. It's like this didn't used to be part of my normal morning routine. But anyway, make sure I say hello to Sabrina too. And I don't know how Jennifer's saying hello. And oh, so Jennifer's in here and watching, but she can't say hello. Well, that's weird. She just sent me a private message about it. I don't know how that would have happened. Huh. Well, I guess when I get off here, I'll try to find out what's going on with that. Thank you so much for letting me know, Craig. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to have a DD Sweetie and start my day. And I guess I'll see you over at Johnny's New England Cajun Roots Reseller and some other places today, Craig and Jennifer. Oh, good morning. Good morning, David. So good to see you. Yeah, I'm about to have a DD Sweeties. I got I wanted to ask you, David. I got this mat. See, when I get those stoves, I don't know if I can put those little, survival stoves right on my counter in the kitchen or right on the table. And I was wondering if a mat like this underneath would work. David has, you can tell by his name, he's a prepper channel. And he's sending me some survival stuff that includes these two little stoves that you can cook on, boil water with. So you can make your coffee when the electricity goes off, or fix food, or just have, if you need to. He's sending me some aqua tabs too. So if you don't have a water source, you can boil water for to cook with, to make soup with, or whatever, or cook food. Okay, so I'm good. Yeah, I'm kind of, since I've never used those temporary stoves before, I kind of don't know if they'll ruin my countertop or table, or um, even my stovetop. I have those porcelain stovetops. So I have a lot of questions about how to use them. I do want to experiment with them and get more once I use them. And I don't know, once you use one of those temporary stoves, well, I don't know how temporary they are. So I have a lot to learn. Excuse me while I eat these DD Sweeties. So good. Yeah, I get these from Virtual Shopkeeper DD. And when the apocalypse comes, I'm going to need a ton of these too. Actually, I don't know how well they keep. I'd like to see an MRE with DD Sweeties in it. And then, I have a bag over here. I have about one of these a day. But David has a great channel. He's a retired principal, and now he's a middle school teacher. So he's going back for more. But I was about to say goodbye. I was having my DD Sweetie. I'm about to ride off into the sunset. or, walk over to the recliner, as they say. But you all have a wonderful and blessed day. And thank you so much for stopping by.